Welcome to our actual play with Just One More Fix. This is James. With me, this actual play is Lacey, Carrie, Holly, and Taffy.
Hey.
Hi.
Hey.
You can find us online at justonemorefix.com or on Twitter at justonemorefix. If you like us, you can support us at Patreon, and you should give us a rating and a review at iTunes or wherever you find us at. In this episode, we're going to continue playing Night Witches. And now, it's time to get our gaming fix. You're about to listen to our Night Witches actual play. Quick warning, these episodes involve some mature content with the trials and tragedies of war, so you've been warned. We return to our Russian airwoman as Vera is contemplating how to turn Yuri into the Politruck. Without any further ado, here is Night Witches.
I know what I want to do. Is Yuri among them?
Of course, yeah, he's there.
I'm going to go report this party to the Politruck. I have
I'm
this
gone
power
out.
called
I'm
Vernon.
out too.
If you steal a treasured possession from someone, they are marked. If the treasured possession is their lover or future, I can advance. So if he gets court-martialed because of this, I
hang
can
on a minute, though.
advance.
Hang on a minute, though.
Dirty.
When it says steal them from him, I feel like that means like you're taking it as opposed to just having it taken away. Does that make sense?
But I'm going to be responsible for the theft.
I see what you're saying, but I feel like when it says steal, do you know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
That's the only... What are you?
Raven.
You're Raven? Which one's it called?
Veron.
Veron.
Says when you steal a treasured possession from someone, they are marked. If the treasured possession is their lover or their future, advance. Either way, I'm stealing his future if he gets court-martialed.
Okay, so walk me through this one more time.
I'm going to go report this party. Actually, I'm going to specifically report him.
Dang.
Because he's just been demoted. I noticed it.
Uh-huh.
I was looking out for him because he was on equal footing as my commander, but I don't want her to be fraternizing with someone that can pull her down. It's bad for her, and that's why I need to report this.
Okay.
I imagine he'll be showing up drunk to his bed tonight. I'm not going to tell him where the party is, but I did see.
Well, it's pretty obvious. There's like probably...
He being just demoted shouldn't be out there, though.
Okay.
I get why the other guys are out there,
Right.
but he specifically shouldn't be out there.
Okay.
And I am not. Let's see. Who's the scratch your back one? Wiggle room. Can't go against promote position. No. Okay, so I'm going to go with... So Sveta is by the book. So she would try to break up this whole party. I'm going to do Barsakova.
Well, the thing is, there's a separate Politruck for the men, though, as well.
Alright, then I'll go to the male one.
And you and I are heading back to our...
Alright, I'm taking note of the fact that, what was his name, Mikhail is here. I will try to slightly get his attention. If he doesn't look over, then I will leave. Because it is a forbidden love. It's supposed to be secret, so I'm not going to openly be like, hey!
I'm leaving. I'm just immediately leaving, and I'm recommending
so am I.
to you that
Immediately.
we're out.
Oh,
Because,
well,
knowing
then-
what I know earlier, that if I see something, I'm going to have to maybe, like... yeah, so I'm out.
you don't
because
like
I don't
it,
want
I
to
won't
see.
do
I don't
it.
want to see things.
No,
that
I don't
might
have a problem with
to
it. What I'm saying though is when you said steal the future of someone, that makes a little more sense that way. But
Yeah.
when it says steal a lover, reporting him isn't stealing him.
No,
Do you know what I'm
but
saying?
stealing his future in
Yeah,
his-
In
yeah.
that case, it is. So
I don't know what he did to get demoted. Clearly bad. Now he's out partying?
It was like a really harsh emotion, way
yeah.
down.
I don't want to be the one to do this, but I have to look out for Yulia. I respect her, and she needs to be our leader when she gets out of the hospital.
She's like Howl in Space Odyssey.
No, I will not open the hatch. Oh shit. Okay.
Oh my god.
So let's walk this back just a couple steps because we got kind of sidetracked from some things, okay? So you guys walk up and you see this party happening, okay? Now, I don't think it's unreasonable to say that if three women go walking by a giant group of infantrymen getting ready to go off to certain doom potentially, that you're going to go unnoticed. Is that fair to say?
That is fair to say.
Okay.
We did did we sneak up to it?
No,
we're just
maybe. I mean, the way you guys kind of described it was just more like an investigation thing, like what the heck is going on or
we're
whatever.
just kind of there now,
you know, so I think
Yeah.
it's one of these moments where maybe, not quite you turn the corner and you're like right there, but you can
Yeah.
see what's happening
And if we can see them,
they can see, you guys. So you will notice Mikhail. You know how the letters work, not me.
I don't remember.
Okay.
I slept since then.
So he is there and you will notice him and he definitely notices you. And I think that Sergei will obviously be there as well, and you would see him in a crowd of people because he's just tall
Him
and
and
giant.
Night dancing.
What's that?
I don't no. Sergey is kind of just like my we're talking.
Oh,
But the other, what did I say his name was?
Bear. I don't know.
I wrote that guy's name. Vasily.
Vasily, yeah.
Vasily did me a favor, even though I didn't really. I could have just asked him and not owed him anything. But I tried to be cool and I made myself
indebted to some
indebted.
greasy salesman
Exactly.
guy.
Yeah.
All right, and you notice Yuri there, like I said, and I don't think Ruslan is here because he's a captain.
I'm hoping he's not.
And he's a pilot.
Yeah, there's pilots here. Maybe like some of the lower, but not the
Well-
the actual officers of the pilots. So
I know that Sergey's there and I'm fine. Boys will be boys and I'm leaving him to it.
okay, very good.
I want no part of this. I have set myself up in a position where I might have to,
Throw your whole squad under the bus.
exactly. And I don't want any part of that, and none
Right.
of them know it. And I'm going to recommend to them as next in
Right.
command after Yulia that I'm recommending that we all just wish them well and
All right, okay.
go away
Very good, very
for
good.
the sake of all of us.
Okay. So you guys turn to walk away, and there is much catcalling, I would imagine, as you guys walk away, and
My desire to stay in the military way outweighs my vanity, and I'm like, you can watch this fine ass walk back to where I go. So
See you on the other side.
yeah.
Of the war.
I feel like there's some potential for uncertainty here. So I think it should be some kind of a move. I'm just not sure.
Maybe attempt fate.
Tempt Fate would be the easiest one, or I could see Act Up if you wanted to respond to them, maybe. I suppose it depends on how you guys want to go about doing it.
I don't know, because it's night.
Yeah.
I don't have act up.
Oh, no.
I
Well,
only
the
have-
night moves are more for when you're actually in the
okay,
air.
in
So,
air. Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say on this side of, so I don't know if that's an option, but
Yeah.
okay, gotcha.
I'm gonna act like a natural born Soviet airwoman,
Okay.
and I'm just gonna turn hoot and like they're hooting and hollering at me, and I'm gonna tell them that I love every one of you infantrymen, but I'll see you on the other side of the war.
I think we act
Tonight is not the night.
like a lady is definitely.
We are under
what
direct
I'm-
orders not to do this.
Okay, I think what you're talking about though is that sounds more like acting like a lady.
I don't
Yeah.
want to act like a lady. That's pure guts.
Yeah.
I want to act like a natural born
but-
Soviet airwoman.
But the way you phrase that though is like this is the time or place for that, and do you know what I mean? Not like natural born or Soviet airwoman would be like, look, I'm a fucking.
That's what I'm gonna do.
You
I'm gonna
know
put
what I
my
mean?
coat on. I'm gonna buckle it back up. Then I'm gonna point at my medals. I'm gonna be like, watch how you talk to me.
No. I'm gonna just speculate and say I don't think you brought your coat with you.
I did. I pictured myself okay, like this because a lady doesn't go anywhere without her coat. You might leave the lady down on
Okay.
the grass.
Meanwhile, I would just like to point out the fact that before that happened, you specifically took off your coat,
get attention.
had some skin showing to get some attention,
And I didn't get
and
it.
then went to go find trouble. I'm just saying, based on your character's previous actions, I think it's logical to assume that you left your coat
I
behind,
have a mission. I can't be caught up in this BS.
which is why you walked there.
No, my mission now. I have a new mission. We just discussed it.
Okay.
Fine.
It's what-
Plus guts. I'm not happy.
I know
about
I have -1 on guts. I'm arguing against being here already, and now I have to roll -1 guts. Ah!
8.
8. So choose one.
This mission pool that we're building is for our future mission, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand how this is going to add one to the mission pool.
I
It's
don't
on the
disagree
list.
with you. I don't know that it would
I would
either.
like to pick that one.
If you can
I
find
guess I
some way
can't
in
figure
terms
out.
of the what is happening, then it's all good. But I'm just not entirely sure how that plays out.
I got how it's going to play out. So we've already been kind of viewed as the party girls. Like, she got told, hey,
Right.
get a drink with us. Us turning down the biggest party,
Means we're focused
it means we're focused.
and dedicated to our missions.
Okay.
And not even just in our own eyes, but in like their eyes too. Like their perception of us changes too, and that will spread, and we'll probably get a little bit more respect, maybe, which will make us feel more confident on our next mission, or more prudish. I really want to stay and party. But then if I stay and party, I can't turn him in because then I'm drunk too, and then I don't get to add one to my guts.
They're gonna turn themselves in because they loud.
There's some shenanigans that are expected.
True.
Yeah, that is also true. I mean, like, and to be fair, you'll know that as well. That there's like before this kind of stuff. It's you
This
know,
isn't the night before. This is 2 nights before. This is the night it's expected. And I'm 16. Nobody knows that. So probably 16-year-old girl is gonna go.
well, make a choice.
But
I'm gonna ensure that there's no consequences for acting up. Here we go.
Oh, nice.
say,
All right, you guys got me.
okay, but think about the kind of 16-year-old girl you are. You've flown successful missions.
Yeah, and I'm
like-
invincible.
Party hard.
I am so invincible. I can sleep with a captain. I can throw our commander's boyfriend under the bus.
She can add a gun to our plane that
I can
does
put a
not
gun on a
need
plane.
one.
I can shoot Yellowtail in the butt. I can party hardy.
No. Oh boy. She's mad with
I
power.
want to do this. I want to add one to the mission pool, but it just doesn't really work.
We have 2. That's pretty good.
I'm going to act like a lady, and I'm going to tell them good luck on their mission, and I am going to see myself to the barracks or whatnot. I got a 9.
Okay.
Wait, they're leaving too? It's not safe for me to be here alone.
No, it isn't.
Oh, you're so conflicted. Jesus.
You're doing a really good job for being a 16-year-old girl. I'll tell you that
This
right
is
now.
life.
Yeah.
Carrie's gonna hold her action.
I'm holding my action.
So, in ensuring that there are no consequences, is it just her or for all of us? as a group?
So I'm okay with kind of divvying it up in this situation because I think there's a very clear split in what some people want to do. Because normally it would just be one move or whatever, but I think that there's very clearly a difference in what everyone wants. Right, and so I think that I'm okay with sort of making separate roles here, given the situation, because of the whole internal discussion that was happening beforehand. So, like, I think Carrie's reversal makes entire sense. At the same, like it's a disaster. For all the reasons that Carrie mentioned before about being bulletproof and all that kind of
Make
stuff.
someone do what you want. Ruslan can come save me.
So you choose one.
I
Gallia?
am going to ensure that there are no consequences for acting up, and I'm going to secretly get his attention
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah.
and make it look like I'm going back.
Yeah. I got you. That's kind of where my head was already kind of going. So I think, there's this moment where you're like, oh, no, and you sort of back away and,
Go bake some loaves.
fishes and loaves and whatnot, I guess, right?
Not quite that much, but
Okay. So
But yeah.
he will slip away with you as you sort of excuse yourself. You'll go walking past, some other tent or whatever, and I think it's one of those things where he'll sort of grab your arm as you pass by something and pull you into an embrace or whatever. One of those moments. All right, Dasha.
I think I should roll a d6. On a 1 and 2, Ruslan comes. On a 3 and 4, I party hardy. On a 5 and 6, I go and report Yuri. I think that's what I should do.
All right. I'm thinking really quickly here.
It's all good.
Because I have -1 guts. So that sucks. But I have 0 luck.
Well, it's more about like how you kind of see the scene playing out as to how you're gonna sort of try and find your way out of this situation. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So you are a junior lieutenant though, so it does make sense to sort of tap the stripes and tell people to bugger off.
Yeah.
You could ask what's his name, Sergey, for an escort home if you felt that's an option as well. There's a lot of different potential ways, to see yourself out of this, so that to avoid any potential entanglements or complications.
So kicking a lantern into the hay bales is not gonna. That's what I'm thinking. I'm distraction.
That
and
would
I'm
be a
running.
hooligan.
Yeah, I'm totally.
Right. You could totally Chicago fire this thing.
about to.
What was the cow in the barn?
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm. Like, I'm to the point now where, like, no one's listening. They all want to stay. They're like,
No, you saw me.
No, Galia turns to leave.
Yeah.
okay.
I am really torn.
And I think on the side of torn, it seems like Vera means more coercion to not stay than it is to, as she has already lit
One
eyeballs
foot in
on someone in the crowd and headed that way.
I'm going to act like a lady because I am a lady. I'm not a hooligan. That's not my
Okay.
style. I have -1 to guts, so let's see what happens. I just rolled a freaking 10.
So that's a 9.
So, there you go.
Very good. So choose one.
So I am going to make someone do what I want. I'm going to ask Vera to please come home with me.
So now you can choose to either go with her or you can choose not to, and you're both marked.
I'm gonna go with her.
God love you.
I'm doing this to keep you safe.
Thank you.
As I set down a shot glass. Sorry, boys.
I mean, you can always be the prize at the end of a successful mission.
Unless you meant that at me like,
Not for me.
oh. Oh. I'm back, guys.
Oh boy. All right. Yeah. So, all right, Vera. There'll be other days. Let's leave them to it and keep ourselves out of trouble and in the air.
You're right. You're gonna make a great section leader.
Just twist that knife. Oh, God. So you guys retire back to your barracks for the evening? Is that the plan, or?
Yeah, I'm done.
I'm not.
So you'll return and
I'll go in bed.
yeah,
And I'll lay down.
and then it occurs to you that also Galia doesn't return right away either. So what now, Miss Young Vera? Are you staying there, or?
Now I'm gonna go report. I didn't get Toasty, so I can go report Yuri to the male truck. I suspect he'll be coming home drunk, as I was repairing the ships or the boats or the planes. I saw him out and about.
All right, so you head over to the Polititruck's office, and
Would there be a chain of command? Like, would she, since she's female, would she let the female Polititruck report to the male Polititruck?
it could be done that way. It just sort of depends on how she wants to go about doing it, I guess. But yeah, you know what I mean. So I guess it
I was
just
just
sort of.
wondering about
It
that,
seems
like-
like she's taking the more direct. I want
For
results
sure,
right
she's
now,
Vera.
which is the Vera way.
Yeah. Just curious,
It's
like
better for all of us if this
historical
happens.
accuracy kind of like question unrelated to.
All right, so
but
I think
would
this
she do
is
that?
it is Major Sergei Kolobev. He is the 4th Air Army Logistics Commissariat, which is the Polititruck, basically, the commissar. So you arrive, and there is he has like an actual structure. You know, he's a major, so he's an important dude to someone. There are a couple of Jeeps parked outside, and they have, what do you call it? There's some like trunks and stuff like that on the back of them or whatever. And you hear some laughter coming from inside the tent. Or it's like a, not like we're drunk and carrying on, storytelling and
They're like a metal bar.
it's just a wooden door style thing or whatever. You knock and the laughter sort of cools down, and the door will open, and you'll see a young man standing in the doorway. I think it's fair to assume that he'd be sort of the assistant or whatever to the major.
Hello. What stripes is he wearing?
He will be a junior lieutenant.
Hello, Junior Lieutenant. Sergeant Grimova.
He'll shake your hand.
I am here to see Major Sergi.
You see him like holding the door. He looks over his shoulder for a minute, and he says, "Why not?" And he pushes the door the rest of the way open. You step in, and you see that he is standing there, and you see this junior lieutenant that was there with you, and you see this major standing there, and he is a tall, kind of robust guy. He's got a little bit of a you can tell he's well fed, and he's got some age on him.
Noted.
Gray and whatnot. And he's standing there, and you see that there are 2 other men in here with him. One of them you'd recognize as Captain Ruslan is standing there, and there is another person you don't recognize, and they have Captain Stripes as well.
Oh, God.
And you see that they're sitting at a table, and you see that there is a woman sitting next to Ruslan, that is about his same age, and he has his arm around her. And there's another woman there with the other captain, and well, it'd be a total of 3 women in here, actually, one with each of the men.
Okay. You probably don't recognize me. I am Sergeant Grimova. I am in Squadron 3, Section C of our female pilots, bomber pilots. My section leader is Yulia. I have concerns concerning one of the infantrymen. I know that he was in a relationship and has been demoted to infantryman. And I have suspicions that he did not take his demotion seriously and will be returning to his bed inebriated this evening. And I don't want my section leader to be taken down by his inadequacies.
He was in a relationship with someone?
I believe they were. His name is Victor Yuri. He was recently demoted. And I understand that boys will be boys, and sometimes there's a time for that, but I feel like he's been giving a warning and not taking it serious.
So, okay.
If it wouldn't have affected my section leader, I wouldn't have come here, but I believe it would. I can get +1 in guts for this. So we can shoot down Yellowtail. It's all part of a plan.
To ruin everyone's lives.
Also, she told me to stop seeing my man. Shit. Okay. Now they could just tell me to go F off. That's fine. At this point, I'd expect it.
I think there's a little bit of that. I think they look at you and they see some up-jumped sergeant, in a way.
And then I don't have to feel bad for stealing his future or her lover.
There's a couple things happening in here. So I think... Okay, so as you lay this monologue on these officers here, you see he sits there and he's sort of like, you can see him considering things, and he's tapping his finger on the table. I wish there's like a keep your cool thing, but I don't know that there is really.
I feel like she should roll
Yeah,
to act up, and that should decide the outcome of how they react.
that would make sense.
She's trying to get her way.
I'd be okay with that.
I also feel like there's an eyeball situation here as well. But you kind of just like, well, maybe not, because you just burst in the door and just like
I
laid it on.
ignored everything I saw.
So
Purposefully.
right. Okay.
I see that they're here having fun. I raise them. I have a complaint.
Okay.
And then I will leave. And what they choose to do with it is their choice.
So I don't feel like this is acting like a Soviet airwoman, because this is not following like your chain of command.
No.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I agree.
I feel like this is more like a hooligan, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Right on. All right, so go ahead and roll plus one.
I'm doing this intentionally to make myself better. So. It's not good. That's a 6.
6.
So that's a fail.
Okay. So here's how I see this happen, okay? As you delivered
It's night before a big advance.
as you deliver this information, you're standing there and he's tapping his finger on the table, right? And there's this uncomfortable moment, and there's this moment of silence, and as you sit there, you notice that Ruslan is holding a drink in his hand, and it's in his left hand. And for the first time that you've ever noticed, he's wearing a wedding band on his left hand. And he has his arm around a woman sitting next to him who is the same age.
I saw that.
Okay. And he stands up and...
He was wearing a wedding ring before.
Was he? Mm-hmm. Okay. So he stands up and he sets his hand on the shoulder, like he kind of like pats the Politotruck, Sergei, on the shoulder, and he says, "Sergei, let me just step outside with this young lady for a minute. I'm sure, like she said, boys will be boys." And he steps around the table and he sort of places his hand on the middle of your back.
I'm gonna flinch a little bit.
Motions to the door.
Okay. I'll walk out.
You step outside with him, and he makes a comment about how hard being an infantryman out behind enemy lines, and the boys need a chance to cool off regardless of whatever has happened or whatever sort of trouble they've gotten in.
I understand.
Most of these boys won't be coming back tomorrow, so, or whatever day it is that they go out. Perhaps a little slack is in order. I mean, I realize you guys fly and it's dangerous, but it's a lot different than staring down the barrel of a gun where your enemy is forcing knives into your chest.
Yeah, I will never know what that's like.
So then he smiles and he pats you, on the shoulder, and he walks back inside, and the last thing that do you feel betrayed by Ruslan at all, or no?
No, but I feel really guilty towards Julia. So
Okay. So the last thing you hear as you stand there in that moment of like, damn it, you hear the woman that was sitting next to him say, "Who is that?" And he says, "Oh, I don't know, no one." And that's sort of the last thing you hear.
I'm feeling guilty.
Okay.
So I'm not going to go to bed. I'm going to go to the medical bay. And I'm going to go sit next to a sleeping Yulia because fate told me I was doing wrong. I got punished for it. So I'm going to go just sit there while she sleeps.
Okay, so you walk in there. You actually come upon a drunken Private Yuri kneeling at the bedside.
I'm going. I'm gone.
In the middle of prayer.
No. No. I'm gone. I can't do this. I can't. Just, no. I'm a horrible human being. I'm just going to go for a walk. F life. Oh, man. No, I gotta go. I can't be here. I'm gonna walk down shit lane if I have to, like, right in the middle of the runway. Can't be here. Mm-mm.
Okay.
All right.
So I don't think that he necessarily notices that you
good.
were there.
Oh, good.
Because, like, he's had, he's a few drinks in, and he's there, sort of, it's quiet. He may actually be just sleeping in the prayer position. You're not entirely sure.
I don't care. I almost ruined a good thing. I just want more in guts so I can shoot Yellowtail. I'm gone. Oh, boy. He really loves you. Oh, boy.
You did the foreshadowing for me. I'll never do anything to hurt Yulia. What do you expect me to do with a line like that? Okay. So you wander off, and I don't know, do you sulk for a minute and then go back to the barracks, or?
Nope. I can go sleep someplace else. I need to be away from people.
Okay. I think the next logical place in my mind for you to sleep would be in the cockpit of Suka.
That's perfect.
Oh, yeah.
I think that
is
makes
actually
that
where
makes sense.
I adore Suka. I have never done anything to hurt her. I will go there.
It's a place of comfort for you in a way. Very good.
It's the only thing I've been successful at.
Okay. I'm gonna grab another beer real quick. All right, so
You're a terrible person.
I know, but if I do it right, I get more guts.
Isn't there anything else you can do?
Yeah, file a permanent file for one of you guys. I'm not a good character.
It's okay.
I can mark someone, change the truth, or add one to the mission pool, but I have to submit an official report. That was not an official report. Or I can mark someone instead of dying in the party. You guys.
all right.
It's not good. It's the Raven.
So I think morning will come, or not morning. Yeah, it was nighttime, right? Mm-hmm. So the morning will come. I think we'll move just through like the planes are repaired. I imagine it seems like most of you want... Oh, I'm sorry, I totally didn't mean to steal the thunder about...
And Lacey needs to paint her people.
paint
Pin up
her people.
Right now,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
still in the hospital.
Yeah, she's in the hospital. So,
can do it in the hospital.
how far are you looking to pursue things with Mikhail?
I mean, like, not tonight. The full
Okay.
the full Monty,
The full
but
Monty.
you know. But it's a budding romance.
Okay, very good.
Snogging.
Right on. So there is heavy snogging happening.
The British have the best word for it.
know,
It's just
I
the
love
most
it.
unattractive term
It
ever.
is.
But it's so, like, it fits, like, it's exactly
It feels
right.
like the description of eating someone else's face.
Snogging.
so good. As the sun comes up, I feel like I need to go talk to Yulia.
Okay.
If that's...
Absolutely. No, I think it makes sense. So the sun will rise, and you will see a weary Yuri coming out of the hospital as you are walking in.
I'm mildly perplexed. But I'm going to continue on my way
Right
and go quietly sit next to Yulia.
Okay.
Yulia.
So she is there, and yeah.
I am going to, just quietly start talking to her and tell her what's been going on since I've been second in command.
Am I awake?
Yeah, if you want to be. Unless you think it's that moment where she's confessing things to you while you sleep.
I don't know. That's why
Yeah.
I was asking.
Can I-
Do you picture me awake or asleep for this?
I mean, I think that as I sit down, I'll say, Yulia, can I talk to you? I'm sorry to wake you, but I just really want to talk to you before I go to bed for the day.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell her about my conversation. I'm not going to tell her exactly, like, all the feels and all the details, but I'm going to tell her that I want to talk to her and that, you know, she's mildly suspicious of our squadron. So just as our leader, I think you should know that.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like she has any reason to be suspicious, but we should all probably be aware that she's kind of watching us, I guess, because it's been making me feel kind of divided against the division is starting to form, where I'm suspicious of the girls.
I don't think you were there in me and Galia's debriefing, but I will tell you, like, when we were in the meeting, I called her out in front of all of her peers. I think she harbors a grudge for that.
Yes, and I think that there are things about us that she doesn't approve of. Our closeness. It's not, as part of one big machine, it's not good for one part of it to become more powerful than the others, and I think she sees that, so she's wary of us for that, you know, that trait. So I'm going to tell you all these things, and I'm going to tell you that I'm not comfortable yet being the leader of the squadron, and I hope for your speedy recovery, because I would like for you to come back, because I don't feel I'm quite ready. I'm not up to this task. The debriefings, only me and the laundry know how scared I am, but I'm for real scared. So
I'm sure you did brilliantly. I trust you.
Thank you for that. I appreciate it. But I would like for you to come back and mentor me some more so that it becomes second nature and not something that I do for, you know, survival.
Oh, I'll be back. I have an idea, by the way. I think I'm going to paint some pictures on our planes.
Yes, why wouldn't we? Yes, we should. The men have pictures.
Right.
We have to look at that
We
all
should have
day.
pictures, too. I'm going to work on some sketches. I'll show them to you. And tell me what you think.
Yes. I will come back and see them.
Awesome.
I'm glad you're feeling well enough to sketch.
Yeah,
and I
I'm
look
feeling
forward
much
to
better.
painting on the planes.
I want to get out of this hospital and back in the plane.
Yeah. Yeah, we've all been out too long.
Stir
We're ready
crazy.
to get back. We don't like being on the ground too long. Terrible things happen. We need you.
All right.
So I'll go ahead and thank Yulia for making me feel better, and I hope that, you know, we see her out of this damn bed.
I think that's like basically a, you know, like that was a reaching out moment. Do you feel like that was okay? Right, I
sure,
agree.
'cause
Okay,
yeah.
very good. So go ahead and roll plus regard.
So that's a 9.
Do you have any regard for Yulia?
Not for Yulia, no.
So on a 7 to 9, choose one.
Let's add one to the mission pool.
So we're up to 3. All right. So I think in terms of the way the things sort of roll, or kind of the story moves along, is that there's a short couple days that sort of go by in a blur, right? Does that make sense? Does that work for you guys? Okay. So is there anything important that any of you guys want to accomplish real quick in the next couple days before the infantry roll out and it's time for you guys to support them?
I feel like it's dramatically appropriate for me to find out that he's getting shipped out after it's too late for me to see him.
I agree. Actually, I have something else entirely to go along with that. So I think it's one of those things where you have these sort of half-remembered things of being in this sort of medicated fog almost. This medication-induced sleep where you have memories, or maybe like half-remembered but half-dreamt, of Yuri at the Victor at the bedside with you. Late at night, and him saying things and talking to you. But it's one of those things where you remember them being comforting things, but you don't exactly remember, like you can't conjure up what it was that he was saying. But just the fact that they're sort of quiet and honest and, you know, what do you call it? Like intimate, I guess would be the right word, I think. To where he's sharing these with you in this sort of half dreamy kind of a thing. And as you get discharged, or not discharged, so you can heal 1 harm over the course of a couple days. So that should put you, I think, at 2, right?
Oh, well, I was at 2 already.
Oh, were you at 2? Okay.
Well, I erased 1 because it had already been 1 night.
Okay. What's supposed to, that you're good. So stay at 2 then. So it will be like, it'll be at that point where you're patched up enough to be released at 2 harm, basically. Because
Harm is still serious injury.
is it still that's
Yeah.
what is 3 then? It's 3 broken.
Unconscious or injuries requiring hospitalization.
Okay. So then heal back 1 more harm over the next couple days then. And like you said, I think all the infantry have already shipped out and received their orders. And as you put your uniform back on that's hanging in the room with you, you will see that there is you feel something in one of the pockets. So you reach inside and you see that it is a brass ring that seems to be cut from the brass of a 7.62 by 54 rimmed, the rifle casings of the Mosnagants, the Russian infantry used.
What? Is there a note with it?
No.
I'm gonna cry.
Yuri.
I will also visit her every day while
Right.
she's still in the
I
hospital
will
and
avoid
stuff like that.
every human being for the next as many days as possible
Right.
and repair and clean everything.
Okay, so you guys aren't sure if Vera shacked up with Ruslan for a couple days, but she is she's just been gone. Avoiding everyone. Like you may have seen her in the hangar for a few minutes, but then she'll oh, you're here. Yeah, I gotta go
thing.
do the thing over there. And yeah, so
We know she's okay. We're gonna give her her space. We know that is.
and
Vera.
So do I get to erase this harm?
yeah.
It's been 2 days.
I'll even try to sleep at different times. Like everyone.
Okay, right. So like I said, you will be discharged from the hospital, and the actual base here is very, very quiet because all the infantry, not all of them, but the vast majority of them have been deployed and shipped away and sort of received their orders and marched on. And which means you guys know that things are very close. And then this evening, you guys will receive your orders to recommence bombing.
I guess since this ring is made out of a rifle casing, it's probably not actually going to fit on my finger. So
It's brass, and they're actually pretty good size. It might actually fit around one of your fingers. They're like this big around. It's 52 millimeters or 54 millimeters.
No, maybe. Okay.
So we can get one if you want to see. Whatever.
Let's try it out.
Okay, I'll put it on then if you think it would fit. So, yeah.
Plus, I think it seems dramatically appropriate that it should fit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a perfect fit.
So, all right. Unless you guys have anything to do, I think you guys will receive your orders and it'll be time for a mission briefing.
Dun, 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 dun. Mission briefing.
Okay.
Why are you staring at me, Carrie?
I'll come back into the barracks and get all suited up.
We'll cheer that our leader has returned.
I'm especially happy because I did not want to go into the biggest offensive.
It's good to be back.
I will pat her on the back and give her a small shot.
To steal the nerves.
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
Okay, so before this briefing begins,
So what'd I miss?
in through your hangar doors will walk the regimental politruck Captain Barsukova.
Oh, she hates us.
Just as I say. So what did we miss?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, she walks
Oh,
in.
my face will fall.
Sveta will be there with her, sort of, in tow, and she will walk in. Imagine all you guys snap to and salute and all that, that's the stuff. And she will walk up to Dasha, and she reaches into her pocket, and she pulls out I believe it's blue and yellow, right? The one on the left there, all the way to the left.
Looks like yellow and gray.
Yellow
It's
and
gray and yellow with like a brass medallion.
And she pulls out a ribbon and medal, and she says, Junior Lieutenant Yagrova, for your actions during the bombing raid of the 40th German Army and destroying the railroad lines, I am proud to present to you the Soviet Medal of Battle Merit, as she pins it to your uniform. And she says, congratulations, and reaches out and shakes your hand and salutes you and says, Adiz, you can continue with your briefing. And she turns around and walks out the hangar.
When the door closes, what the hell? We were both in that plane. Wait, who was flying? Was I flying? I thought I was navigating, which means I would have been dropping the bombs, which means that would have been me. Right? Right? Am I right?
I already erased it. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that I was dropping bombs.
Yeah, I don't know. You guys were in the lead plane, but I don't know.
I very distinctly remember that Dasha was one of the Vedomaya. That much I'm almost certain of, I think.
No, I thought she said that we were the lead plane and they were the Vedomaya.
I was a Vedomaya because
that's what she
I
got
took
in
the
front of
fire
us.
for them.
Oh, that's right.
I'm gonna
But I
look
don't
down
remember
at the
who was
medal,
piloting.
and
It was
I'm gonna look at
probably
Gallium like,
Gallium, though.
I'm just as confused as you are. I have no idea. This has to be a mistake.
This is no mistake. The Politruck has it out for us, and they're trying to break us up. That's what's going on here. We know what's really up. We have each other's backs. Medals or no medals, just blow that shit off.
Well, the medal's on my chest, but it belongs to all of us.
Why would they want to pit us against each other? We're obviously not going to fly good missions if that's the case.
To steal the current vernacular, they hate us because they ain't us. They're just jealous. Plus, we called their shit out in the meeting.
You called their shit out. But, I backed you up.
Were supporting me.
I was supporting you.
And my big fat mouth.
No, you were right. I'm just saying.
Well, I obviously can't share with everyone else. And I didn't share everything with Yulia, what the conversation was with her, but with
you had a conversation with her.
Well, I'm not saying this out loud, but
okay.
I can't share with everyone, but I look at Yulia and we both know that this is a little odd. So hopefully Yulia and I, knowing she doesn't know exactly what happened, but she knows that we spoke, Bereskova and I. So I'll look at Yulia and hope that she'll back me up and help, keep the bond strong, because we're about to go do something pretty terrifying. So
That's okay. I got one too. Maybe we should make sure we're both on the same plane. So
That's good. Yeah, we probably shouldn't put you guys in Suka. It's already heavy enough.
I could be in Suka.
Vera has
Put
to
me
be
in Suka. I'm going to shoot something down.
Vera has to be in Suka.
I mean, I don't, but I just need to be wherever you guys need me.
We can't let it divide us. I did not make this decision, but I will tell you that I do share it with you. You know that we were both on that plane, and without you, in each plane, without the navigator and the pilot, we don't make it.
I agree. I'm just saying it's awful funny.
How often has Dasha repaired our planes so that we can fly the next day?
You're right.
Let's just say that this medal is because
I'm not saying you don't deserve it. I'm just saying.
Right, Dasha? You're the one that gets
it just seems a little funny.
You earned a medal. You earned a medal.
Just one more
Maybe
shiny bit of recognition for our section, guys.
That's right. You know what? You guys are right. I'm going to take a shot now.
You know what the most important thing is?
That you're back.
No. Well, I mean, that's cool too, but I was going to say that our section has way more medals than any other section that graduated at the same time as us. That's what really counts.
We don't really need to put dividing lines like that between us. Like, what if I got transferred to another section?
Why would you get transferred?
Yeah. Why you gotta crap on our parade?
Don't you put that on me, Ricky Bobby.
I don't know.
Do you want to get transferred?
No.
You don't want to be in our group?
No, I've always wanted to be here. You guys are my best friends.
Aw.
I will.
Hey,
She's just
I was
got me
working
all
on
worked up.
these while I was sick. Check it out.
Sketches, yes.
They're pinup
That's an
sketches
awful
for
lot
a
of nip.
plane. But look, did you see? It looks like you. I'm gonna put you on our plane. I was gonna put you on Suga because it's your favorite, but I can put you on a different one if you want.
No, she's real comfortable.
I like it. Wait, on the outside?
There's one of each of you.
Oh boy.
Look how sexy y'all look.
I don't know why mine's the only one nipple hanging out.
I'll cover it up. I'm sorry.
That is one strategically placed
I
red.
was
I have
sketching
beautiful
people
hair.
that didn't
You
care
can
so
use
much
my hair
about
to
the
cover
nips.
that.
Okay, all right. I'm fixing it
I
right
think
now.
that might be a little distracting
That's
for
the
some
Vera
people.
de Milo.
Perfect.
The people,
distract
other
Yellowtail.
people in the air. See, that's the.
They're going to see.
That's
Well,
right.
I mean, if that's the case, why don't you just paint her with no shirt on?
You want to paint me without a shirt on? I mean, don't tell the Politruck I did that.
Listen. I've got to maintain the slightest bit of modesty.
What's
like
that?
they already have us out for us anyway. What?
On your ring finger.
Oh, I found
is
it
that?
in my jacket this morning. I think it's from Yuri.
Oh, that's awesome.
I didn't get to see him, but they shipped
What?
out.
Yeah, with the infantry.
So,
Why would he ship out with the infantry? I don't know.
did he ask you that? Did you
He
say?
was gone when I woke up. I don't know.
So does that mean that
I think
after
so.
everything, I will give you a big hug? Congratulations!
I hope he comes back.
I hope so too. That's really something.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Well, now we have something more to fight for. See? We're gonna do this. Let's do
mean,
this,
like-
guys.
You guys are like my only family, so this might mean, like, after the war's over, I actually have something to go back to.
Be careful. The more things you have, the more you can. As I was told one time.
I mean, like, it's not a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is
Yes.
something.
Be taken away.
Alrighty. Oh, you have no idea the amount of tragedy I have in store for you, poor fucks.
All right.
I've been like real on purpose, not talking about Grandpa.
Grandfather? What grandfather? I have no grandfather.
What are we talking about?
I'm a murder hobo.
Straight up.
All right, so we will move into the night phase, and you guys will be time since after the awarding of medals. It will be
Medal.
time for, or I'm sorry, a medal. My bad. It
Yeah,
will be
one.
time to deliver your briefing there, Lieutenant.
All right, ladies. We're going to have to step it up for this one. We're going to be bombing a German marshalling yard. It's behind the Don River crossing. There are going to be rail car mounted anti-aircraft guns, searchlights, and enemy air patrols at dusk and dawn. That's the bad news.
Just dusk and just dawn. So in between, we're clear.
I mean, we'll see.
I like your optimism.
All right. Dasha and I are going to take the lead plane. We're going to do Comrade, take it out, earn its stripes. Tail number 101, Gordost is going to be Galia piloting, Olia navigating. Tail number 121 is going to be piloting Oksana, Navigator Vera, and Zagnet's in the hangar. So let's do this thing.
Alrighty.
Which plane am I in?
Gordost. Tail number 101.
All right, so your guys' mission pool stands at 3 right now. And don't forget, you guys also have +1 forward for a wayfinding or an attack run roll. But you have to make that decision before you make the roll. Okay? That's for this mission, and then the next, there's only one more mission left. So if you guys choose to not take an advance and finish the last one, then that'll come up there. You guys get things set up, the plane's rolled out, taxied out onto the runway, take off, and our lead navigator needs to go ahead and make me a wayfinding roll.
So this is 1.
Yes.
Okay, so 7 plus 3, I got a 10.
So a 10. On a 10 plus, you find it, line up a textbook approach. Pretty straightforward. You know where the river crossing is. You guys have the river mapped out. The river is easy to find at night because the light reflects off of the water. So it's pretty straightforward to make an easy approach. And go ahead and make me an attack run as Dasha guides you in. And we'll see how this goes.
That would be a 6. I'm going to go ahead and use one from the mission pool and make it a
Alrighty.
7.
So go ahead and give me one of those. Very good.
It's not pretty, but it's there.
Acceptable.
All right. So on a 7 through 9, it's a hit and choose 2 consequences. So before we get there, think about the two consequences as you choose what you want. And you guys you line this up, and there is this large marshalling ground where there are all these German soldiers that are sort of mustering, and they're getting ready to try and repel your guys' offensive, and they've built this defensive perimeter that they've got. And it is along this river crossing because it's an easy place to set up defenses because there's a river, obviously, you know. And there are, as I mentioned, rail-mounted anti-aircraft guns that are there, and they shoot at you guys with spotlight. They, shoot at you guys. And there are spotlights patrolling as well. You also see that as you fly in here, that you see, before you arrive at where you're going to be bombing, that there are also, you see the signs of Russian troops. The First Red Army is also down here. You see them sort of in place as well, hunkered down for the night or whatever, because they are going to be attacking. They have been attacking, and then they will be attacking again, throughout the night and into the morning as well. Choose 2.
Okay, so I'm going to say a plane in our section is damaged, GM's choice, and the damage to the target is not significant, and it's my fault.
Oh, go big or go home. Okay, very good. So the plane that is going to be damaged, does that trigger enemy fire?
No.
No, it does not. Okay. Dang.
No, we don't want that one, thanks.
It does trigger a wheels down roll though at the end, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
I think so.
Sorry, it's been a little while. Is anybody in the Suka?
I'm
Does it trigger
Suka.
a wheels down?
It doesn't
wait.
say anything about wheels down is.
I thought it did. Oh, no. Just kidding.
I'm in Suka.
So how about we do this? How is it you see that you botched this attack run?
Oh, I haven't been up in the air in several days. My head's really not in the right place. Our morale was kind of shitty going into this for lots of reasons.
Right.
I just don't drop the bomb in the right place. Like,
Okay.
it's just,
Right. Head's not in the game.
I drop it too soon.
Okay, very good.
Plus one of your,
would drop it
like,
too
are you
fast, too,
injured?
if I just
Are you
got
still
engaged.
injured or are you healed? Are you, like,
I mean,
I think
somewhat
you have
injured?
one harm or no?
I have one harm. You know, you can probably tell I'm moving a little stiffly, but I'm moving. I'm in as good a shape as our plane.
Well, it kind of almost puts it up to you guys because, well, no, not necessarily. Because if I choose you, then either one of your Vetemaya can choose to take the consequence instead. But I think it's the plane that Vera is in. Because I think that she's chomping at the bit and ready to go, and all this stuff that has happened, and I feel like you feel a little bit guilty in some ways about what's happened. And you can tell that Yulia just isn't her normal self, and things aren't quite going right, and you're sort of trying to like push things and get things going, and you put yourself in a little more risk than you normally would. And I think that your plane is, well, you don't trigger enemy fire, so I think maybe you push your plane a little harder than you
Just
should
trying
have.
to make sure that if they fire at her, I'm there to block
Right,
it.
right. So you push the plane a little too hard, and there is some engine damage. I think maybe an oil line pops off and it sprays nasty oil everywhere. You know, I think it's one of those scenes where you got your flight goggles on, and you're like, you know, that black all over you. You know, it's like spraying everywhere. So it blows a couple oil lines or high pressure oil lines or whatever, and it's spitting oil everywhere. Would you like to? Is it tempt fate to make a second run?
Yeah, I think so.
After attack run by a leader if other okay, so you can choose to make a second attack run if you like.
I want our leader to look good, and I am going to choose to make another attack run. Oh,
Very good. So go ahead and roll plus guts.
okay. I think that's a 0. It is. Balls. I'm going to use both of those for a 10, so we just do
Very
it
good.
and do it awesomely.
The first pass isn't so good. Yulia's a little rusty, little early on the trigger. Drops the payload too early. You guys loop back around after the sputtering of Suka and spraying nasty hot black oil everywhere. You make your second pass and choose one.
And choose...
So your payload connects, but you still have to choose one.
What? You do?
Yes.
I'm going to choose... Olia and I are marked.
Okay. Very good.
Does Gordos have a personality?
It's noble.
Oh, dang.
Oh yeah, because if you had a regard for the plane, that you could incorporate that into the role as well. So Olia is marked. All right, so you drop your second payload and catch them by surprise, I suppose. And you're not the only planes out here flying, and so there's enough distraction that your second payload connects and does sufficient damage and causes quite a bit of commotion down below. Now, this is a much more populated area in terms of the amount of soldiers that are here that you're bombing. Usually what your guys are doing are sort of not so well defended and more isolated targets. But wanting to support this big offensive, this is a large area of heavily reinforced
And our
German
own
army.
troops are nearby as
Yeah,
well,
and they
so
are-
we have to...
Yeah.
So I took the mark, make a friend or take a lover. So I'm gonna really talk Olia up. Like, you can do this. You're a part of our squad now. Like, this is what's up. You're gonna drop this, and we're gonna take him out. Give our men a good fighting chance.
Right on. So what's it called?
The mark was make a friend or take a lover.
Alrighty.
like in the midst of an air attack.
Now we're homies. Yay!
I like that you take her as a friend, and then she's also marked at the same time. Ah, dang.
I know.
Sad day for
I
her.
don't have make a friend or take a lover on here. I have suffer the death of a friend or a lover.
I've got that one too. That's at the top of my list.
You're also the Raven, so
Nevermore. Nevermore.
it's also like have dinner and peck someone's eyes out.
At least I get dinner.
Because the dinner is the eyes you're pecking out. Raven.
So you guys drop your payload. It's too bad you didn't fail that. Man, I could have had you like bomb friendlies and everything else. That would have been perfect.
No.
Ah, dang.
Can't kill Yuri yet.
Dang.
Well, you're a terrible human. Moving on.
I was super excited when he said there were like Russians, like
They're gonna
our own
see us.
people intermingled somewhere around the Germans. I was like, oh my god, that's so good. It's crazy. I love it. Dang it.
Yuri hears us, stays up all night, does terrible the next day, stuff like that.
Yeah,
Awesome.
it's awesome because it adds depth.
So you guys have your a small stumble at the beginning, but are able to correct and make a second pass, and because of the loyalty of your squadron, are able to successfully deliver your payload and damage the German emplacement here. So there's lots of explosions and mayhem and sort of death and destruction, and you guys sort of put it behind you and make back for Trudgornyaka, I assume? Mm-hmm. All right. So whose plane is damaged?
Fine.
Oh. All right, so go ahead. It's going to trigger a wheels down roll, so go ahead and roll plus skill.
11.
11. Oh, what the heck. All right, so on a 10 plus, you and your PO2 are on the ground and in one piece. Change an open regard slot to refer to the plane if you want.
I already have one.
All right, very good. All right, so it's a rough landing, but you are able to steer it down on the ground, and you're very familiar with this plane.
And I shored up all of these runaways.
This is true.
Spent an entire night doing that.
So you set the plane down successfully, and yeah, the mission goes off without a hitch. It's sort of like back to old times. Maybe you've hit that groove again.
Yes.
Yeah, Hotel wasn't there.
No, he was not. So there was a small Luftwaffe presence, but they were not there
are
in
they?
significant numbers. Huh?
That's a problem. Where are they?
So do we get an advancement for this mission?
Not for this one.
no.
Dang it.
The next one is the big one.
Yeah, we're landing and it's awesome, and I'm excited because we are awesome. But there's like this little in the back of my mind. I'm like, this is not going to look good to Berskova because she's suspicious of our success. That's what I'm thinking as we land.
So you guys land the plane, and there is much excitement on the airfield and in the camp here at Trudgornyaka. You guys will receive, as you taxi the planes down and put them away, you guys hear that the attack is going well, and that looks like that they are beginning to sort of turn the tide of where the Germans are and are beginning to push them back a little bit.
We could see our infantry from the air. It was a glorious sight.
Yes.
So up until this point, this has been a defensive operation here, and this is the first point at which the Russians have ever began to turn the Germans back. It has been one consistent loss, one after another, on the part of the Russian army up until this point. So everyone here in camp is flying high on life right now. They are extremely happy. Obviously, there's a lot of men still in danger and at risk out there, but people are flying high on life right now. So you guys set the planes down, they taxi back, and I suppose it's time for a debrief. Was that a little too anticlimactic, or?
No, I liked it.
Okay, cool. It's all good. I mean, like, I know, like, I feel like we go through them so fast, but I'm like, it's only like a couple moves, and I'm like, ah!
Yeah, good mission pool for that one.
I think it's perfect because
Fortunately.
now, like, things that were said earlier are totally messing with Dasha's brain.
Very
Yeah. The plot.
Oh, the Politotruck.
Yeah.
Right on. Okay, so is there anything specific you want to mention in the debriefing, or not mention, or?
I'm just gonna be short and sweet about it. Like, mission was a success. Target was taken out. One plane took damage. Everyone is unarmed and ready for the next mission whenever we're called upon. Feeling a little lackluster, the whole thing.
It's a little bit too flawless.
Too neat.
Yeah.
Nobody's bleeding. Nothing's on fire. I don't know what to do with this.
Right?
All right. Very good. So, yeah, there is ooh, man. I don't know that I want to steal that from you. Okay, we're good. Okay. Sorry, I had to work something out in my brain how things would end up playing out, so I think I've got it solved. Wheels are down, planes are put up, they are being refueled and refitted and all that stuff, and it is nighttime. Or I guess the sun is coming up at this point. And amazingly, you guys flew that mission without too much trouble at all. Thanks for listening. This has been an episode of Just One More Fix. Music has been provided by Kevin MacLeod. You can find him at Incompetech.com. You can support us at Patreon.com/JustOneMoreFix or follow us on Twitter at JustOneMoreFix.